A few months ago, I made a beanbag chair, and it turned out really great. But sometimes my cat likes to use it. So I figured, why not make a beanbag chair for my cat? Step 1. Attempt to measure your cat. This is a very scientific process, but it might take a while, so just be careful. Can I measure you? No, Next is the design. For my design, I did a cylinder shape, which is very similar to how I did my original beanbag, and then I just used that scientific measurement that you got from measuring your cat and just use that for the perimeter, and then the height is just 10 inches because that's how tall I wanted it to be. Then I cut and measured out my shapes. I had 2 big circles at the end, the fuzzy one for the top and the less fuzzy one for the bottom. To make sure these were the exact same shape, I used a protractor with a Sharpie at the end just to cut them out and make sure that they were equal. Next is the math. I used the circumference equation on the circles because they both had a diameter of 20, which gave them a radius of 10, and using the 2 pi r equation, that gave me 62 something inches, and that I was able to use to get the length of my very long piece of fabric that was going to be the 10-inch tall piece in the next step. Next is, you guessed it, more cutting. The piece is 62 inches long and 10 inches in width, which will make the middle of our cylinder. Next, I pinned and sewed everything together. First, I did the middle long piece, and then I added the fuzzy top piece and then the less fuzzy bottom piece, just in that order, and pinned it and sewed it all together, making sure to leave a tiny little hole open on the less fuzzy bottom layer so that I could add the foaming. Next is to fill the beanbag. I used foam that I had left over from the first time I made a beanbag chair, but honestly, you could put in stuffing, you can put in old stuffed animals, whatever you want, as long as it gives a fluffy and nice interior for the cat to sleep on. This is probably also a good time to get some help from your cat. Next, I just sewed the opening closed, and then that is it. After that, you just have to try to get your cat to use it. It's probably a lot easier if you made this for a dog because they'd be a lot more likely to use it, but because it's made from the same thing as the beanbag chair, I'm hoping eventually that Casper will decide to actually use it.